Good evening, students. We already saw how blood is responsible for transporting certain materials, including gases. Okay, so in order to transport all these materials and gases, the blood need to be pumped properly. Okay, and it should reach each and every part of our body so that all the parts of the body gets the required nutrients as well as the gases which are required. Okay, so there should be requirement of a pumping system and a pumping organ and certain vessels which are required for transportation. Okay, now that particular mechanism is guarded by a very beautiful pumping organ. That is nothing but our heart. Okay, here we are only expected to study human heart this year. Okay, but let me tell you, the mammals and the birds have four-chambered heart. Okay, the aquatic creatures, aquatic organisms have a two-chambered heart. Amphibians and reptiles have three-chambered heart. Okay, amphibians and reptiles, they have two auricles and one ventricle. Okay, as far as the aquatic organism fishes are concerned, okay, there is a different mechanism. I will be explaining that. Okay, detail, but they have a two-chambered heart. Okay, whereas birds and mammals have four-chambered heart. Two auricles, that are the receiving chambers, and two ventricles, those are the pumping chambers. Remember, whenever the blood is received, the auricles are in relaxed position, and whenever the blood is pumped, they are in a contracting position. Whenever receiving is done, it is in relaxed position. Whenever giving mechanism, sending, okay, it is in a contraction. Okay, it is in a contracting mode, or the valves contract. Okay, now the human heart, it is just like our clenched fist. Like my heart is like my clenched fist, your heart will be like your clenched fist. So if you are expected to understand the entire structure of heart, how does the heart looks? It just looks like one's clenched fist. The shape is like one's clenched fist. It is located in the thoracic cavity and little bit tilted towards the left side. Okay, as far as weight of the heart is concerned, it is 280 to 340 grams in males and 230 to 280 grams as far as females are concerned. Okay, near about 70 ml of the blood is pumped by the heart each beat. Okay, and the average heartbeat rate in an adult at rest is 60 to 100 beats per minute. Okay, a well-trained athlete will have 40 beats per minute. Now, let me tell you a very interesting thing. Okay, we check the heartbeat and we see that the heartbeat rate at rest is lesser and we get scared. Understanding? Okay, so let me tell you, if the heartbeat rate at rest is lower, okay, is lower, near about 40, 50, 60, okay, it implies more efficient functioning of the heart. It indicates that your cardiovascular system is functioning at most properly and you're fit. That doesn't mean if a person is having 80 beats, that person's heart is not functioning properly. Okay, lower beat indicates that the cardiovascular system is functioning properly. I'm talking about the heartbeat rate at rest. So it is 60 to 100, but a well-trained athlete, okay, will have the beats 40, that is 40 beats per minute. Okay, but what is the normal range? 60 to 100. If it is lower, okay, it indicates a proper cardiovascular functioning. Okay, at rest, heartbeat rate at rest. Okay, yeah. Now let us go into the detail of the structure of human heart. The human heart comprises of four chambers, four compartments or four chambers. Okay, this part is the right side, this part is the left side. Okay, we always consider the diagram to be our body. We should imagine which is our left side and which is our right side, and then we should draw a particular diagram. Okay, So this is the right auricle, this is the right ventricle, this is the left auricle, this is the left ventricle. Okay, auricles are the receiving chambers and ventricles are the sending or pushing chambers. Towards the left side, in between the auricle and the ventricle, okay, there is valve present. Towards right side also, between auricle and ventricle, there are valves present. Because they are present in between the auricle and ventricle, they are called auriculoventricular valve, and the region is called auriculoventricular aperture. So, in the auriculoventricular aperture, there is auriculoventricular valve which is present. Towards left side, okay, the valve which is present, that is called bicuspid valve. And towards right side, the valve which is present, that is called tricuspid valve. Now, you may have confusion in remembering the bicuspid and tricuspid valve. Remember like this way, when a person leaves from a place, what a person says? Bye-bye. Okay, so person said bye-bye and left. Okay, so bye-bye and left. Okay, I'm going, bye, and then I left. Okay, weird, but it will help you to remember. So, bye-bye, left. So, which valve is present towards left side? Bicuspid valve is present towards the left side. Okay. Now, what are the functions of this valve? Why this valve is present? Okay, the blood is received by the auricle. The valves help to send the blood into the ventricle. But these valves prevent the backflow of the blood into the auricle. Once the blood, under normal conditions, once the blood leaves the auricle, it will not go back again to the auricle. It will go to the ventricle. Why? Because these valves prevent the backflow of the blood. Okay, under normal conditions. Okay, so let us see how it functions. So the vena cava or the veins, these are the main veins which are present. Main veins. Okay, so the main veins are inferior vena cava. Vena cava means veins. Okay, and superior vena cava. Superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Okay, superior up, inferior down. So they are also called anterior vena cava and posterior vena cava. Okay, vena cava, vena cava, say anything you can say. Okay, so superior vena cava brings the blood from upper part of the body above the heart. The part which lies above the heart, like brain, the neck region, pectoral girdle region, the forelimbs, the hand region, etc. Whereas inferior vena cava brings the blood from the lower part of the body, the pelvic girdle, hind limbs, okay, etc. Okay, this is the aorta, which is considered as the largest artery. Okay, this is pulmonary artery. All the arteries contain oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Okay, these are pulmonary veins. All the veins contain deoxygenated blood except the pulmonary veins. Okay, there are some thread-like structures which protect the heart layers. They are called chordae tendineae. Okay, the left ventricle is a bit broader as compared to the right ventricle because left ventricle has to pump the blood into the aorta, and through the aorta it will reach to each and every part of the body. The two sections, okay, right and left region, is separated with the help of a layer, and this layer, this separation, it is called as a septa or a septa. Okay, so right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. Okay, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. Towards the left, bicuspid valve. Towards right, tricuspid valve. Okay, both right and left side is separated with the help of a septum. There are thread-like structures which are present, which gives protection to the entire region of the ventricle. Okay, yeah. This is aorta, largest artery. This is the pulmonary artery containing deoxygenated blood, pulmonary vein containing oxygenated blood. Okay. Now the blood enters from the upper and lower part of the body through superior and inferior vena cava into the right auricle. From the right auricle, with the help of tricuspid valve, the blood goes into right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the pulmonary arteries, okay, will take up the blood, okay, and put it into the lungs and pour it into the lungs. So, which type of blood is present in the pulmonary artery? Deoxygenated blood. Okay, yeah. So, pulmonary artery will take the blood from the right ventricle and will pour it into the lungs. In the lungs, we have studied across the alveoli and capillary diffusion occurs, exchange of gases takes place. So, RBCs receive oxygen and the blood gets oxygenated and carbon dioxide is given. Okay, which is taken up by alveoli and sent to the or expelled out via mouth or nose. We have already seen that. Okay, so the pulmonary artery will take the blood to the lungs. In the lungs, the blood gets oxygenated and pulmonary veins will bring the oxygenated blood from the lungs into the left auricle. Okay. From the left auricle, with the help of bicuspid valve, the blood is pumped into the left ventricle. Okay. Now, in the left auricle and left ventricle, the blood is oxygenated. Okay. From the left ventricle, with the help of aorta and few valves, okay, called semilunar valves, okay, the blood is pumped via the aorta to different parts of the body. Again, when the blood comes in contact with the body, okay, the exchange of blood takes place, okay, between arteries and veins, okay, across the capillaries. Okay, remember, we will see that with the structure in detail. Okay. So, inferior and superior vena cava will bring the blood into the right auricle. From the right auricle, with the help of tricuspid valve, the blood will go into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, with the help of pulmonary artery, the blood is taken to the lungs for oxygenation in the lungs. Now the blood is oxygenated. So the blood in the pulmonary artery is deoxygenated. Okay. Now in the lungs, oxygenation of blood occurs and that particular blood is taken by pulmonary veins and poured into the left auricle. From left auricle, the blood enters into the left ventricle with the help of bicuspid valve. The thread-like structures prevents the ventricle, that is called a tendency. A septum divides both the sections, right and the left sections, okay, and from the left ventricle, the blood is pumped with the help of aorta to different parts of the body.